Hey there, rental property owners. Jeremy Goodrich, owner of Shine Insurance and your host for the Shine Insurance YouTube channel. This may be one of our most important videos. This video may be something that you're watching right after the beginning of an insurance claim. Hopefully not. Hopefully you're just trying to understand what you should do if you're ever in this situation. But if you are in this situation right now, this is going to really help you with day one of how to handle a rental property claim. Rental property claims happen quite often. I'm dealing with 3 or 4 as we talk right now with clients of mine, and I just felt like it was a good time to walk you through exactly what to do, particularly on day one. So we're going to knock out 6 things. We're going to hit safety first, stop the damage, document, remediation, insurance, and handling the tenants. So let's dig right into it. The best time to start thinking about this is before something bad has happened. So we want to think about safety first, and these are simple things, but it's a great place to start, right? Think right now about your investment properties. Do your tenants have the things they need easily accessible if something bad does happen? You're not going to be there, right? You're not going to be at the location of something bad happening, but your tenants are, and how well they can handle the bad thing that happens may have everything to do with how it all turns out. So make sure that everything is there if they need to escape harm or limit damage happening long before those bad things happen. So you probably have that taken care of. But if you don't, really consider, where are your fire extinguishers? Where are, the smoke alarms? Basic stuff like that. Make sure all that stuff is set up and it's ready to go. Okay, let's say something bad does happen. And if it is safe, it's time to try and stop the damage. There are times when it's not safe. You've called the fire department, you've called someone else who is coming in to try and address the situation, but it is not time for you to try and stop damage because it simply isn't safe. And if that's the case, don't try and stop it, obviously. But if it is safe, you can go in and try and stop further damage. Now, that may be cordoning off a space so that people can't go into it anymore. That could be covering a roof if a tree limb has come through your roof and it's safe to do so. You could even cut back the tree and put a tarp over the roof. Those kinds of things make sense if they stop further damage. So the second thing is simply stop damage. The next part is one of the most important things for you to do, and that's simply document. Make sure there is clear documentation of what happened. Because obviously, if you're going to fix things, if you're going to address them, then when you turn it into your insurance company is not going to have evidence of what happened. And if they don't have evidence, then the claim is not going to go well with the insurance company. So make sure you document everything and don't fix any issues without clear documentation. Don't throw anything away until insurance adjusters have visited. And the insurance adjuster is the person from the insurance company who's responsible for handling the claim and ultimately cutting the check that would help you deal with the cost of that claim. So you want that person to have everything they can to address the claim properly. I've seen folks make a pile of the damaged, ruined things because of a bad thing that happened, water damage all over the house, and they went in and they wanted to start getting that stuff out of there. And they made a pile of that stuff on the side of the house just for a couple of days until the adjuster showed up so that they could prove what they had and what was in that house. So do not throw anything away until an insurance adjuster has visited. That's a key piece. So you've stopped anything bad that's happening. Everyone is safe. The next thing to do is actually to contact a remediation company. Remediation companies are experts in cleaning up fire, water damage, and a lot of other things as well. They really should be one of your first calls once the space is safe, right? Because they're going to assess the situation and begin cleaning immediately. My number one type of investment property claim is water damage. Some pipe burst or something like that happened. And these remediation companies come in and immediately start drying out, pulling out things that have been damaged. They know what they have to do to deal with that water damage, and they get on it right away. So if you contact a remediation company, that would be a number one thing to do. Remediation companies also know how to deal with insurance companies, and so they are going to document. And so they're going to help you with that process as you navigate the insurance company. All right, it is now time to contact the insurance company. Notice that wasn't the emergent thing you had to do immediately. Yes, you need to contact the insurance company as soon as possible. But the insurance company is going to be a process. The insurance company is the money side of this process. They are not going to, you're not going to have an insurance company person come in and start tearing out carpet if it's all wet, or start fixing walls or whatever the damage is. They are not the people that are going to do the work. They are the money that will be a part of the process of handling the situation. And so you certainly want to contact them quickly, but it's not an emergent need to contact them right away. I mean, I do get contacted in the middle of the night. Somebody's got a fire at their house. They call me. They do that because they trust me. They want me to help them walk through that process. They want to have the peace of mind that their insurance agent is going to help, and I provide that service for them. That's great. If you have that kind of relationship with your insurance agent, I love it. That's awesome. Give them a call right away. But if you call the next morning, that's perfectly fine as well. It's really up to you. The process the insurance company is going to go through is going to take a few days anyway, so getting in touch with them in the first 24 hours is fine. When you do get in touch with them, you want to make sure you write down a couple of things. The claim number is super important, so you can refer to it as you engage with them over the course of the claim. Insurance adjuster's name, if they give you one. Oftentimes in that first contact phone number, if you're calling the insurance company directly, they may not have that information, but see if they do, because it's nice to have that, again, so you know exactly who to contact through this process, and of course their contact information. If you can get that, those are the key pieces of information in this process. Now, one of the toughest parts of an investment property claim, especially if you have renters who are living in the space that is experiencing that bad thing, is they don't have a place to live right now. Now, maybe it's not bad enough damage that they have to move out. It really depends on the situation. But if the property is uninhabitable, your tenants will need to find another place to live. And that's something you'll want to help address with them right away, because they likely will be looking to you as the property owner to lead them. And I think it's really important right from the start that you understand this. If there's nothing else in this video, you understand this is the most important key. That the additional cost, along with damage to their belongings, should have coverage on their renter's policy. There is not coverage for either of those things in your policy. This is why you ask people as a part of your lease to show that they have a renter's policy, because in these scenarios, they're going to be looking for who's going to help fix the damage to their stuff, and who's going to help cover the additional cost of them having to live somewhere. And that is not your insurance policy. You are not responsible for how they navigate those things from this point. It is their renter's policy that should navigate that with them. Now, you can help them by referring them to their renter's policy, helping them to know that that is the next steps. But it is not on you to pay for the additional costs or to cover the damage to their belongings. Their responsibility to you for future rent is also generally released in their rental lease. Now, this obviously depends on your lease, but most leases say if a property is no longer inhabitable, that the lease is ended or the lease is put off for a period of time. It really depends on the language in your lease, but most leases say you are released from having to pay me rent for the period of time where the space isn't habitable, and that makes sense, obviously. But you need to know that too, because they're going to be released from having to pay you rent. And it's important to be clear with tenants about what the contract says and how things will move forward. Now, do you have to have this deep conversation on day one? Probably not, but you may want to engage with them on these facts, these elements of how things are going to move forward. And then in the next couple days, of course, you'll want to engage a little more deeply. There is coverage, by the way, or there should be coverage on your policy for that lost rent. A lot of times you say, hey, well, wait a minute, where's the money that I'm losing for the next 6 months while we rebuild my house? Well, if you have loss of rent coverage or additional expenses coverage, there's extra expenses coverage. There's some different names for it on different policies, but oftentimes there is coverage built into your insurance policy for your lost rent associated with this type of situation. All right, well, that was day one, but what about the rest of the claim? Well, we've created an overview checklist and a step-by-step guide for every single part of the claim. That includes day one, but it also includes the rest of the process, which has a bunch more steps. Of course, we will deal with week one, what we do in that first week after day one. Week two-ish, as things start to continue, the timeline certainly spreads out. Week 3 question mark. I've had claims take as long as a year and close up as quickly as a couple of weeks. So there are certainly variety of how these next sections could go down through the majority of the claim process. And finally, finishing up, how do we close everything up, make sure everything's taken care of, and get tenants back into our rental properties. So the guide goes through all those pieces in a step-by-step way that can walk you right through it, and I know it'll really help. You can download that at shineinsurance.com/investment property claim guide. I hope you'll go and get that right now. So what's next? Well, if you need your portfolio reviewed, obviously you hope you never have to use insurance, but when you do, it is so important that you have a good policy that is put together right for you. And if you'd like us to do that, we will use our simple, smart Shine method. It's very simple. It's very simple. We will walk you through a super simple process. We will create and put together a smart policy for you. And if something bad happens, we will shine. That's the heart of what we do. If you would like us to review your portfolio, please do reach out to us at shineinsurance.com, and we'd be more than happy to help. All right. Until the next time, have a wonderful day.